Yes, you know how game week 24 is a double game week? We know Liverpool and Everton are playing twice. Well, breaking news, you may have just heard it. Game week 25 is also going to be a double game week and it's going to be bigger and better. What does that mean? Well, success time to play your assistant manager chip. Of course, you have to, because with the assistant manager chip, you're committing to a 3-week window. Well, it's the best chip in the game in terms of ceiling. What offers the most points? The assistant manager chip. If you go game week 24, you get a double. You then use a transfer to game week 25, you get a double. And then game week 26, you have a one-off game. We are going to get 5 matches in 3 game weeks if you use the assistant manager chip right here, right now, before the Saturday deadline on the 1st of February. Guys, this is massive, massive news. It's chaos and we love it. So, state of play. Let me just round up where we're at. Game week 25, we now know will be a double game week, and it all depends on what happens in the EFL Cup. We know there are 2 semi-finals to be played. Now, one of those semi-finals involves Spurs and Liverpool. Spurs versus Liverpool is currently massively in the balance. The first leg was in London. Spurs won 1-0. Spurs go to Anfield, having to hold a 1-0 on aggregate scoreline. If they draw at Anfield, Spurs go through. If Liverpool win by more than a 1-goal margin or on penalties, then Liverpool go through. The bookies' odds have Liverpool to beat Spurs and qualify for the final. If that happens, Liverpool get a double game week versus Wolves and Aston Villa, 1 home, 1 away. And Aston Villa get a double game week of Ipswich and Liverpool, 2 home games for Villa. Interesting. If Spurs win, could happen, then Fulham get the double. And that's a good looking double because it's Forest at home and Spurs at home. Now, Forest comes with mid-table, the 5 bonus. We know that. And Spurs would have Man United at home and Fulham away. This is so interesting, guys. This is absolutely chaotic and we love it. Now, there is another semi-final. As I record this, we don't know what the provisional plan for Newcastle would be, but it involves Newcastle and Arsenal. Newcastle should win this, right? Newcastle are 2-0 up. And they are now at home for the semi-final against Arsenal. But if Arsenal do turn it around, they get a double against Leicester and Chelsea get a double versus Brighton and Arsenal. Now, top line thoughts, guys. We know the assistant manager chip is brilliant in game week 24 because you can go Moyes or Slot, but the assistant manager chip in game week 25 is also going to be very, very tasty, isn't it? Like, who do we like out of all of these? We got options. We got options. So currently, when I look at it, I can't go Liverpool. I've got 3 Liverpool players and I'm not going to be willing to sell one. Where I can go, Fulham. Fulham for a win against Forest with the table bonus. And will they beat Spurs at home? They should do. Villa, they could upset Liverpool for a table bonus, maybe. And Ipswich at home should be a banker. It's so interesting, isn't it? We're presented here with like some awesome opportunity for the assistant manager chip. Guys, we have more to show you, so stay tuned. Before I do that, hello to everyone watching on Catch Up. Thank you guys for watching on Friday afternoon or Saturday morning. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're new around here. Thank you to everyone in the chat. If you're wondering why you can't add your comments, it's because you've got to be subscribed to put your comments in the chat. But I've got loads of you watching. And thank you so much for joining. Rowena's in the house, Keith's in the house, Louis, Paul, so many of the channel members, cat amongst the pigeons. Buongiorno, Fabio. Morning. So much going on, says Michael. Absolutely. Absolutely is. It's not even morning. It's gone lunchtime. We've just been looking at our computers for too long, looking at these provisional announcements. So look, that's where we are in terms of state of play. Now, earlier this week, I said, this is the graphic I made earlier this week. Game week 24, we have that Everton double or the Liverpool double. And game week 25, I said, chance of Fulham Spurs doubling. Didn't realise there was chances of others doubling. Now that looks like it's going to land. It might not be Spurs. It might be Liverpool that get the double. But one of those teams, one of these sections, hang on, that section there or that section there, or one of them happens. If you've got 3 Liverpool, you can't go Slot. And actually, the more and more I look at it, it's like, oh, could you just go slot and avoid the bonus because you're getting 4 fixtures? A double followed by a double is so, so good. And what's really disappointing for those that have got the triple captainship, you can't use it. You can't use it and the assistant manager chip. You could use the assistant manager chip, could use triple captain this week, and then hope you can use the assistant manager next week. You could do that, but you won't know the outcome of these fixtures in game for 25. You won't know which one of these groups goes together until the 24 deadline has passed. If I had triple captain, I'd still go 24 and I'd start 25 slow, I think. Oh, it's so, so tough. If I've got triple captain, I'm probably just wiping it out and going straight to assistant manager. Let's be true. I'm probably doing that. You shouldn't be able to cancel your triple captain if you're already activated. No, you should be able to. I'm pretty sure you can. Pretty sure if you've... No, Christian, you can. Oh, you're saying you shouldn't be able to. Well, yeah, maybe so. But the rule is you can. If triple captain is active in your team, you can get it off. Oh, thanks, Keith. You can get it off. Guys, if you are new around here, do hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys, for, as always, for supporting the channel. If I've got the triple captain active, I'm taking it off and I'm using it later in the season. Now, when can that be used? Because loads of you watching have still got triple captain. Before we move on, I'm going to do a poll. Are you now using assistant manager chip this week? Guys, it's going to be an overwhelming yes. It just has to be, doesn't it? Everyone's going to be going Moyes. I don't think anyone can go slot because they've got 3 Liverpool already. Get voting in the poll. Let me show you where you can possibly use your triple captain, your triple captain, because we know game week 24, game week 25, let's assume that's assistant manager chip, and game week 26. So game week 27, 8, 9, blah, blah, blah. We know there are doubles in 33, and we know there are doubles in 36. You can use your triple captain there. You can also use other chips in those weeks and target a single game week fixture for triple captaincy. Now, if you look at game week 28, Liverpool play Southampton at home in a single game week. You can definitely use Liverpool versus Southampton in a single game week. I don't mind that at all for Mo Salah. You won't have any other chips in play in game week 28. If you're looking to maybe save those big doubles for bench boost or wildcard or free hit, use it then. Or because you're using the assistant manager chip now, you could have a big double game week later in the season to use triple captain. You could use it in game week 36 or game week 33, or you save those weeks for wildcards, bench boost, free hit, and you go big for a single game week punt. And single game weeks can work. Those that went Haaland in game week 2 against Ipswich were heavily rewarded. Now, Liverpool at home to Southampton is as good as a fixture as you'll get. Game week 28 should be absolutely part of your thinking. Should be part of your thinking. So that's where we are at. In terms of, it's a dilemma which one to use. Guys, we have to remember with triple captaincy, and this is really, really important to me, just to like ram this home. When you captain a player who scores 10 points, you get 20 points. Brilliant. I got 20 points. If you've triple captained that player, you're only getting an extra 10. Instead of 20, you're getting 30. Great. I've got 10 points. Bench boost, free hit, wildcards, they're all way more than 10 points in the game week. Let's just assume it's, oh, I get a really big return. My player gets 15, it's 30, it's 45. I've got 15 extra points. 15 extra points. I still want more than that on bench boost. I still want more than that on free hit. I still want more than that on wildcard. You 100% get more than that. 99% get more than that on assistant manager chip. This chip comes with huge ceiling. You could get 60 points rather than the 10 or the 15. 6-0. We know if it's played in the right weeks, based on last season, I think it was Glasner, the end of last season when he had a double in a 4-game stretch, he got something like 65 points. The ceiling is massive on this chip. You have to use this chip. You have to use this chip where you think it's the optimal time. You have to prioritize the triple captain chip because the ceiling is that high. And to recap on the points, guys, it's +6 for a win, but beat a team 5 places or more above you and it's 16. But it's not 16 because if you've won that game, you've scored goals. or you've kept a clean sheet, or both, right? So let's assume you win that game 1-0. It's 16 plus 3, 2 for the clean sheet, 1 for the goal. So straight away, you're looking at 19 points. Let's say you've won 2-1. Okay, you don't get the clean sheet, but you get 2 goal points. So it's 18. It's a minimum of 18 points for beating a team 5 places or more above you. A minimum of 18. Now, Chai, of course, in the chat, Spurs fan, good to see you, mate, is hoping that it will be Spurs that double. And if it does, Spurs can get mid-table bonus here, guys, because Spurs in the table, we know if they double, they play Man United and Fulham. Now, Chai's getting carried away because he saw Spurs beat some farmer team last night, but you could back Spurs. Let's just have a look at the Premier League table. So Spurs and Man United, will there be 5 places between them? Possibly. At the moment, there's 4. Fulham, will there be 5 places above them? Probably. At the moment, it's 6, 5, and 3. And we'll know going into game week 25 if Spurs can get those table bonus. If it's mid-table bonus for both Man United and Fulham, you could punt on the Spurs. Straight away, I look at it and go, it's Fulham. Because we know there's a mid-table bonus for the Forest game. That will happen because Nottingham Forest are currently 3rd on 44 points. City are behind them on 41, same as Newcastle. So going into game week 25, Forest should be, because their goal difference, it's not great. No, even if they slump, yeah, it's very likely that Fulham will go into that with the mid-table bonus. The whatever bonus it's called. So Fulham play Forest and then Spurs, they don't get the bonus, but they get a good home fixture. Game week 26 is a bit of a problem. There's no great fixtures in 26. Like you could back Leicester to beat Brentford or you go somewhere safe. But we're going to be using transfers. Iraola is obviously an option. I'm doing notes that Iraola, fine, don't mind that. My whole world is spinning. Are we sacking off Gakpo and using assistant manager? No, you don't go selling Cody Gakpo. If you've got 3 Liverpool, you've made your bed. Don't go and buy Arna Slot. If you've got 3 Liverpool, you're good, guys. All right? You're good. Stick with your 3 Liverpool. Chaos. And I'm absolutely here for it. My team this week was looking amazing to this announcement. What I would say as a takeaway note for everyone watching right now, if you're watching this channel, you're an engaged manager. If you're watching this channel, you are already up on your casual mates in your work mini leagues that really won't know about this, right? The more chaos in FPL, the better for the engaged manager. It doesn't really matter what your team looks like. The fact you're engaged and you're able to react to this news means you're up. You're going to be up. So I hope you all didn't use early transfers this game week because, again, being flexible with transfers, if you had 2-3 transfers and you've used them all now, it's like, oh, okay, I can't double plan. Ideally, you want to be rolling into these doubles. Like now, I look at Everton and go, do I really want to be getting double Everton? Probably not. Like when we look, let's assume, and the bookies odds have Liverpool to reach the EFL Cup final. So let's assume Villa and Liverpool reach get a double game week. Now, if Villa get a double game week, I mean, someone like Chai in the chat, he's got Ollie Watkins in place. He's absolutely laughing. Many have got Rodgers. If there's a double game week for Villa, how do their fixtures look moving forward? Well, you would get Ipswich in the double game week with Liverpool, and then they go to Chelsea. They've got Chelsea at home, Palace, Brentford. Not the best. Not the best. Remember, the teams that double in game week 25 are doubling because they've reached the EFL Cup final. That then means if you're doubling in 25, you're not going to have a fixture in game week 29. So we need to be really smart about our chip strategy here because many in game week 29 are looking to dead end their team. If you're looking to dead end your team in 29, then, well, if you're dead ending your team in 29, you need free transfers to do that. So again, free hit 29 is firmly back on the menu. Free hit 29 is firmly back on the menu. I'm just tweeting that as we speak because I'm thinking out loud here. I'm reacting to this news. But it has to be on the menu because if we want to stock up on 25 players that are doubling, and let's say that's Fulham and Spurs. Like right now, I've got no Spurs players. I've got no Fulham players. I'll definitely want a piece of that. For both teams. It's a double game week. But I have to bear in mind in game week 29, I'm going to be short if I invest in Fulham and Spurs or if I invest in Liverpool Villa. Well, that's fine. Game week 29 has to be a free hit week then, doesn't it? I think so. Now, Game week 29, the fixtures aren't great. The fixtures aren't great for free hit, which is why so many have discarded the idea of a free hit in 29. We can see here, this is on Scout the members area, just listed the Game Week 29 fixtures as they all stand. Remember, 4 of these fixtures come out. Let's assume the fixtures that come out are the ones that the bookies suggest will come out. So there'll be no Newcastle and Palace. Fine. There will be no Liverpool and Aston Villa. Now, what are the matchups you target? Arsenal play Chelsea. I don't really think in a free hit you want Arsenal and Chelsea players. Bournemouth, Brentford, fine. We might own a few of them already. Man City, Brighton is the obvious one. That's where many will captain. Many will look at that and go, I'm going to captain Erling Haaland. I'm going to free hit and I'm going to have De Bruyne, Foden and Haaland. Well, I don't hate it. Man United play Leicester. Straight away you look at it and go, I can make sure I've got Bruno Fernandes and Amad Diallo in my team. 29 is firmly on the menu, guys. Wow. I didn't realise that when I started streaming. I didn't realise that was coming. This is fun. This is fun. The more chaos, the better. Wolves play Southampton. Great shout. Cunha on a free hit. Free hit 29 is firmly back on the menu. So it'd be City times 3. It would be United. It'd be United times 2. It'd be Wolves times 2 or maybe 3. Who else do we say? I'm just jotting these down. Other matchups for 29 that we like. You'd literally select 3 or 4 teams. You go, I'm going to have 2 or 3 Wolves, 2 or 3 Man United, 2 or 3 City, maybe some Bournemouth, Brentford. Chaos. Forest of Ipswich. See how Forest are playing then, but absolutely. It's a shame they're away at Ipswich. Jared Bowen. Yep. Yeah, Wood. You'd go Wood even away. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Delia. Delia says, there's loads of people watching. I never have over 500. I mean, I do on Sunday mornings, but my deadline streams, Christ, I get like 200. So guys, if you are watching for the first time, you're like, who is this guy? Well, I do lots of streams, but mainly I do shorter content throughout the week. I'm actually talking to the world #1 manager later today. So that video will be dropping tonight. Exclusive chat with FPL's #1. He is top of the world. He's ranked 1 and he's doing his team selection video on this channel later tonight. So stay tuned for that. But if you are new around here, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Hit that subscribe button and that would mean a lot. Thank you. And thank you for the reminder, Delia. So chaos. By the way, I've done a poll. Only 55% of you are looking to use your assistant manager chip. What's going on? Why would you not use it? Like, guys, let's change that vote, shall we? Honestly. I'm shocked. Why would you not want to use it? You've got to use it, guys. You've got to use it. You've got to use it. Ah, wow. Just joined. Should we be using it? Guys, if you've just joined, let me just recap, right? I'm going to recap. The assistant manager chip has to be used this game week. If you've already acted and activated triple captain, you can take it off. That's the beauty of the chip. You can deactivate it. So get rid of triple captain because this week you've got to go double game week 24, double game week 25 and 26. That is your 3-week block to use the assistant manager chip. The reason being, you're going to get 5 games. Use a transfer between game week 24 and 5. Now in 24, your 2 options, we know this, you've got to go with Everton or Liverpool. They're the only 2 teams that double. Fine. If you've got triple Liverpool, you can't go slot, which is a shame. Could you go slot? Begs the question, should you go slot? Like, could you sell a Gakpo or a Trent or a Salah? I don't think so. I think you just stick with your 3 Liverpool players, to be honest. But you could, of course, consider that. I won't be doing that. Like Liverpool, I won't be doing that. I'll use a transfer and I'll chase the upside and those bonus points. Now, we know in game week 25, there will be 2 teams that get a double game week. No, more than that, likely. But it will definitely be a Spurs and a Fulham getting a double game week, or a Liverpool and an Aston Villa. And these are the matchups we can see. So this EFL Cup tie, which will be played mid-24 game week, right? It's played in like 10 days' time. In 10 days' time, we are going to know the outcome, but we won't know it when we commit in 24. So hit your assistant manager chip, commit to Moyes, but just know you're going to need a transfer next week to make that transfer out of Moyes to, say, Silva, or of Moyes to whoever, Unai Emery. Now, the doubles go like this. Going into that semi-final, Liverpool are losing 1-0 to Spurs, but the second tie's at Anfield and it's only 1 goal in it. The bookies have Liverpool to win. I expect Liverpool to win, but who knows? Spurs, Romero back fit, Van der Ven back fit. It's probably a tight game to call. Now, if Spurs do reach the cup final, you get a double for Fulham and a double for Spurs. The double for Fulham is brilliant because Forest will be one of those games where you can get the bonus. If you get the table bonus, it's an extra 10 points for a win. And they'll play 2 home fixtures, Fulham. It's a nice run. If Spurs get it, Man United, Fulham could come with bonus. We don't know yet. We don't know. If Liverpool get it, well, they won't get bonus games, but they get Wolves and Villa. Fine. And Aston Villa, they get Ipswich and a bonus potential game against Liverpool. Now, that is one worth considering. That is absolutely one worth considering. I'd happily go to Unai Emery. Unai Emery is definitely worth consideration because Ipswich at home, surely that's a home banker, isn't it? Now, Unai Emery, just be careful, guys, is a little bit more expensive. He's 0.8. He's more expensive than, say, a Moyes. So if you're going from Moyes to Emery, you're going to need an extra 0.3 in the bank. Slot, remember, is 1.5 million. Emery is 0.8. Moyes is 0.5. If Villa go and beat Liverpool, like, happy days. Huge, huge win. And if they don't, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world because hopefully you've had some points for Ipswich. Now, in game week 26, there won't be a double game week. Aston Villa play Chelsea at home. Again, that doesn't come with bonus. It might be one you look to use a transfer on. Villa, Chelsea, unlikely that will come with bonus. There's only 3 points between those teams at the moment. But you could go rogue, Van Nistelrooy to beat Brentford. You could look elsewhere, like, I don't know, Wolves to beat Bournemouth. It's a tough one. You might go for a bit of a banker and go, I fancy Arsenal to beat West Ham at home and just go Arteta and play safe. So we've got huge, huge options. Remember, when you activate your your assistant manager chip, when you activate it straight away, that's not a transfer. You then get to select a manager. You just have to have budget available. Triple captaincy does not come with a massive amount of upside. It just doesn't. Triple captaincy is, I reiterate, Salah gets 10 points this game week. I captain him, I get 20 points. You triple captain him, you get 30. It's only 10 points more than me. It's only 10 points more than what you would already ordinarily have done because you would have captained him. So if you're up 10 points, that's seen as an okay triple captain, like 10 points. Let's say it's 15. You get 15 more points. Assistant managership, we're talking about 50, 60 points. Massive. It's changed the game. You won't get bigger than the assistant managership. Like, it's huge. Free hit, bench boost, wild cards, triple captain. The ceilings are never that high. It's absolutely huge. It's absolutely huge, guys. So, yeah, there we go. I'm saying triple Liverpool and Moyes assistant manager. Absolutely. Oh, John's just made it. No way, guys. Loads of you are tuning in as I'm about to go. But look, I'm recapping the same information here. If you have just tuned in, honestly, go back and watch the first 15 minutes because it will give you loads of insight. Hopefully, it's giving you guys everything you need to know. I'm very happy to take some questions. I'm happy to keep recapping. But the big news is assistant manager chip has to be used this game week. It just has to be. You're getting a double in 24 and a double in 25. Not so fast, Gianni. If you're getting doubles in both those game weeks, why would you not use the game's best chip? Remember, you have to use a transfer when moving between them. And I just want to mention, by beating a team 5 places above you, you don't actually get 16 points. You get 6 for a win and a 10 bonus. That's 16. But if you've won that football match, you've scored goals, right? So you're definitely getting at least +1, so that's 17 points. If you win 1-0, you're getting 19 points because you kept a clean sheet as well. If you win 2-1 or 3-2 or whatever, the minimum you can get is 18. 18 points for one game. Massive. Do I think Moyes can do that against Liverpool? It's a long shot. He could get a draw. And if he gets a draw, it's 8. Hopefully with some goals. Yeah, it's 9 minimum for a draw because you've either scored 1-1 or you've drawn 0-0 or 2-2, whatever. So the worst case scenario would be a 1-1 draw, and that's 9 points for Moyes. So guys, I'm going to be hitting Moisey in. It's so simple to be going Moyes. Honestly. In fact, to the point where I'm going to message the person that makes my... I need Moyes on the thumbnail tomorrow for my deadline stream on this channel in the morning. It has to be Moyes. Right. Guys, I hope this is good for everyone watching on catch up. Thank you all for tuning in, by the way. It's awesome to have so many watching the channel. Like, getting eyes on the channel is great. I just urge you all, there will be about 100 of you watching that aren't subscribed, and you'll be wondering, like, is this a channel I want to commit to or whatever? If you fancy hitting that subscribe button, it means a lot. It would be awesome to have your input. If you want to add your comments to the chat, it is now set to subscriber only as well. So support the channel by hitting the subscribe button. That would be really... I forgot to hit it to subscribers only. So rashed. I saw the news. I was like, oh my God, I got a stream. Got a stream straight away. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, like even... It's a big if Everton draw to Liverpool, but they are the home team, and it depends how much you want to build into the narrative. We have to remember it's the last ever Merseyside derby at Goodison. Paul, you're very generous, mate. Thank you so much. So much. Yeah, he did subscribe. Thank you, man. Thank you, Paul, for gifting the membership. That means a lot, mate. So look, that's where I'm at. Moyes this week, Fulham manager next. Yes, and if it's not Fulham manager next week, because let's say Liverpool are the favourites to qualify, by the way, over Spurs in the EFL Cup final. So actually, it's more likely to be Emery for many. It's harsh though, isn't it? If you go Moyes and Emery, you are literally backing upsets against Liverpool, the best team in the league. But you are getting them both at home. So if you go Moyes, in 24 and Emery in 25, you need both managers to beat the best team in Europe. To get something. I think I'm here for it. You need a massive upset. You do need a massive upset. But honestly, if you go Liverpool, guys, you get a double, but then you get Man City in 26. Like, slot's not the best. Like, I'm very happy just with triple Liverpool players. And let's assume that that Liverpool even beat Spurs. The best scenario for many FPL managers will be to go Moyes and you get an upset or whatever, but then you get Fulham as an option. I do see Fulham as the best option because I think Fulham beat Forest. I really do. So I would love Spurs to get to the EFL Cup final. Give the double game week in 25 to Fulham, who have 2 home games versus Forest and Spurs. I think they beat Forest. By the way, the bookies have Fulham 47% to win that game, I think, which is really interesting. Really interesting. That free hit in 29 is definitely going to be back on the menu as well, guys. The reason why, right, just as a little bit of state of play here. So as things stand, we know a double in 24 and a double in 25. Now, whoever doubles in 25, the teams on screen because they're doubling in 25, let's not forget they are blanking in game week 29 because that's when the EFL Cup final is. So if you double in 25, you blank in 29. So how do we navigate game week 29 now? We have to use the free hit. I think I'll be using the free hit in 29. And the reason the free hit will be so strong for me in 29, it then allows me to stack up on doublers in 25. I can use free transfers. My plan this week was to buy Pickford and Visser. Now my plan this week is probably to roll the transfer because if Aston Villa double, I want Watkins. If Fulham double, I want, I don't know, Jimenez, Robinson, whoever. I want to use a transfer on assistant managers. So what I'm going to be open to right here, right now, I'm going to be open to I'm going to be open to assistant manager chip transfers between 4 and 5. Absolutely. I'm going to be open to free hit 29 and I'm going to be open to taking hits. It might even be a hit this game week. Maybe I still buy Pickford and Visser. I don't know yet, but I'm definitely going to be open to hits as well. So guys, absolute chaos in FPL and we are here for it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. On your way out, please do go back if you're just joining and go and watch the rest of the video. It's only been, half an hour, but especially that first 10, 15 minutes, the real state of play, everything is set. I do fixture ticker. I go through the point of course, the assistant manager and the different combinations, and we look ahead to all the fixtures. So go back and watch this video if you're just joining. On your way out, like, and please do consider subscribing to the channel. Later tonight, it will be a fairly late upload, but tonight we are speaking to the world #1 ranked FPL manager. He is top in FPL at the moment. He's an Englishman. He's a Northerner. He's got an awesome looking team, and he's going to be revealing his plans for game week 24 on this channel. So make sure you're subscribed with notifications on and you'll get his video later tonight. You want to see that video before the deadline. He is the world's best FPL manager on current form. Thank you all for the love. I will see you on the next.